I've got the clap and I'm giving it to you. I've got the clap and I'm giving it to you. I've got the clap and I'm giving it to you. Who's got the clap? You do. You do.
Oh.
Look, listen.
I would clap for that effort, but I think there was enough clap going on there.
It's epic.
Thank you. Thank you.
Epic. Thank you. Good to go. Thank you everybody who was in the chat with us right now and joining with us. And unfortunately, Tyler got called into work, so he'll be joining with us a little bit later. He'll be popping into the chat to say hi and everything, but we took the opportunity to see if somebody special would be interested in being a guest host for tonight, because we had a chair open. So I would love to welcome Nerd Needle, Elaine, to Pixels After Dark. How you doing, Elaine? Thank you so much for being a guest host with us. I'm super excited.
Oh no,
and
I can't hear
your audio.
Oh no, not again. We can't hear you.
If Elaine could say hi.
What about the mute button on the front of your Yeti? Is it blinking? Okay, you just mouth the words and I'll, hello.
Check your
Nerd Needle. We'll do like Kung Fu Theater style. She can hear us, evidently. We're getting nods. Yes. She said yes, guys. Okay. One syllable.
Okay. Do you have a whiteboard and maybe a marker?
Yo, what up, Headshot?
She's looking. She probably does too, doesn't she?
2 days ago.
Yeah.
Hell.
Wait,
okay,
I heard that.
Wait.
Now.
I heard
Did you come back?
Yeah.
Hey!
All you had to do was slam down the notepad. And that,
Look, listen. If Ursula could stop taking my voice, that'd be great. Thanks. I was going to say that I'm very happy to be here, and just like Charles, I knocked him out of the way, down the stairs, and here I am. So, hello.
Story checks out. But also with us tonight, I'd like to welcome the one and only Kob0neArt. How you doing, buddy?
Hi, I'm doing very good. How are you guys?
Good, man. Good.
Pretty good.
Thanks for coming and hanging out with us tonight. Yeah, for sure.
I'm excited to be here with you guys and the Nerd and Needle. I mean,
I know, it's pretty awesome, isn't it? We're going to just jump right into it, and just wanted to dive in and just ask you a few questions right off the top before we get into the nitty-gritty of everything. Kob, with digital art growing in popularity and the versatility of it, what still draws you to traditional art?
I don't know. I guess I've spent a lot of time with traditional art growing up. I definitely enjoyed digital. There's definitely applications for digital where I need to do it that way, but I don't know. I think it's the tangibleness to the feeling of the pencil on the paper and I don't know. It's a hard question. It's a good question. I don't know. I think in my streams too, I like to do start with something blank and end with something. And it's my digital takes me a little bit longer than my traditional. So maybe that's why I do more traditional streams per se. I don't know. But yeah, I enjoy digital as well, but they're few and far between compared to the traditionals.
Well, that goes right into another question that I had. Has sketching and art always been a passion of yours?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Since I was a wee young lad, that's all I ever wanted to do. I would beg my relatives for, do you have paper? Do you have a pencil? No matter where I was, all I ever wanted was to draw. And I think I've told this story in every podcast and stream. But when I was in kindergarten, I got in trouble because I would speed through tests to flip over the paper to draw on the blank side while the rest of the kids finished their test. But I got yes. They talked to my mom, but then she asked well, how did he do on the test? Well, he did okay, but he's still rushing through. Whatever.
That's what it is.
If I was doing poorly, then then it could be.
What was the most demanding piece you've created? Do you have one off the top of your head that just took an exorbitant amount of time? There's just so much detail that it was very
like demanding. Just traditional, or like encompassing everything, like graffiti, or like it's hard to pick like one piece. I did an 11, or was it 17 by 11 of the Charlie's Angels girls. Like if you see a picture of it, it just looks like any of my other ones, but it's actually pretty large. So that one was pretty extensive. I would say these Star Wars card sets that I sign on for, I get like a month usually to do like 40 cards per set. And I've got 2 sets right now I got to do before Guardian Con. So it's like, so that can be kind of daunting as a whole. You know, it's a bunch of little drawings, but as a complete whole, it's, you know, it's a lot of time and effort. So I would say probably that too.
Now that's something pretty epic, because not only do you do your art streams and you draw just amazing traditional. I got frame pieces all over my office that you've made for me. I mean, this one is one of my favorite ones, and it's from Hellblade, and it sits like right next to my desk. And then I'm surrounded by
Is it the monster one from Hellblade? Did I send you that one?
Yeah, it's the Beast. The Beast. The Beast one. It hasn't made it onto the wall yet because I still have to get a mat for it. But
that's cool.
It's just too nice. The amount of spare time I have to run to AC Moore or Michael's is not very much. And
dude, I'm telling you,
Amazon is not a good place to buy those.
I'm telling you, Walmart, man. Walmart has a great selection of frames, but for those torn dog ear ones I do, the half page, I get like an 8 by 10. They call them floating frames. It's just literally 2 pieces of glass pressed.
Yeah.
But it like the page kind of floats in the frame. It looks really cool, especially like when they're displayed and stuff. So, and they're like $3 like a piece. You know, so
you know what? I have actually. You can't see because the camera is not angled that way. There's a pile of unused frames that I still have to go through and frame more stuff. And I mean, I have a wall dedicated over here just of friends and stuff like that. I mean,
it's awesome, man.
Elaine's on the wall from PAX.
Hey, I made it.
We all shared dinner at PAX East just a month ago, and I printed out a bunch of pictures. And I'll send you a picture of the wall later. But it's I gotta make it over there. I'll see if I can grab some of those. I have 2 of them, but they're larger ones for like the bigger pieces. That's a great idea. I'm gonna take a picture and I'll show you later. I'm gonna edit this out, so don't worry about it. I'm gonna ramble. But no, it's awesome. Getting back at it, it's wicked amazing that you do all that you do with your traditional art, your art streams and everything, and also you're a graffiti artist. Not too many people, I mean, it's known, but not too well known of all the graffiti art you do. And these are massive pieces. And it's all freehand. I mean, there's no, templates or anything like that. I mean, that's a huge canvas to work with. But you also got picked up by Tops, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Tops.
Yep. I just got an email today from Upper Deck for a Chasing Amy Miramax Pictures card set. Yeah, so I don't know if I'm going to accept that one, but I thought that was completely random.
Yeah. Like meet Kevin James. Not Kevin James.
Like drawn like Jason Lee and I'm not really a portrait person per se, so I just, no.
You don't want to draw him like one of your French girls?
Now, I mean, sometimes, like every now and again, like 1 out of every 10 might look like the subject. Like that's why the Star Wars ones, I like doing the creatures more so than like the faces, even though I have done a couple.
So wild, because I've seen these before in the past. I could go through my boxes and boxes of cards from when I was growing up with like the X-Men cards that have art cards in them.
Yeah, and that's Upper Deck.
Well, super wild, really incredible of you. I don't know how you find the time to do everything. We'll get to time management later. You might have to share some tips with all of us.
Yeah, share them, because I need them too.
Right.
Need someone to clone me, some German scientist in some undisclosed location. Make a second Kob2, if you will.
That's in Sweden, but close.
Okay.
One more question before I let Elaine, take it away with getting into the nitty gritty of the questions for the night. But do you want to hear the clap song?
Oh yeah, I mean,
this is a thing.
You know it.
Joe, you're just mad you didn't hear it at PAX East.
A little bit. But Elaine, if you feel up to it, would you mind sharing the clap song with all of us?
I'm always ready to share the clap. Trust.
Whoa. TMI. Oh my God.
You know what? I've got the clap and I'm giving it to you. I've got the clap and I'm giving it to you. I've got the clap and I'm giving it to you. Who's got the clap? You do.
Oh.
Look, listen.
I would clap for that effort, but I think there was enough clap going on there.
It's epic.
Thank you for performing that. Thank you.
For real.
I feel like I need to go take a shower.
You've been blessed.
You look at the claps in chat. You go, Brian. What's going on, brother?
It's a special thing that Elaine did last year. It is like a highlight of. It's already clipped.
Yeah. It's wonderful. There you go.
A highlight and like an ongoing thing and it pops up. It's a lot of fun.
Okay, so how do you begin brainstorming for a project?
Well, I have these little magical jelly beans that I dump out of this pouch. No. Depending on what it is. Maybe. I don't know. No, so I guess it depends on what the subject is that I'm doing. If it's like a couple's, draw me and my boyfriend, in this XYZ gear. Sometimes I ask them to provide me with shots. Sometimes it's like one screenshot of both them standing there. Sometimes some people give me like the 360, and then as far as weapons and gear, I'll kind of research my own for angles and stuff. And then for those type of projects, I'll spread all that out. I'll open Adobe Illustrator and I'll take all my references and make a giant reference piece basically that I can move around in, zoomed in on. And that's usually the quicker way. I used to have multiple pictures in a folder I would kind of skip through, and that got a little annoying. But so that's kind of prepare for that. Really anything. I look for references for anything, poses, subjects. So, I'll find a picture of something and then, draw it my own way, kind of. Sometimes I'll take references and do them exactly like the reference. It just depends on what I'm doing. But yeah, that's pretty much how I prepare.
Cool. Do you have any tools that you utilize?
There's this one thing online called the Googler.
A lot of people use Google.
It's new thing. I mean, I think you should buy into it. I think it's going to be something. But the Google Images, that's an artist's best friend. Sometimes I'll go back and watch old Destiny trailers and stuff to like pause and get a screenshot of something if it's something in particular I want to draw or things like that. But as far as tools, Google Image. YouTube is a great artist tool. I tell artists, when people ask me, how do you draw hands, or how do you, what's the best way to shade, or, go to YouTube and type that verbatim, best way to shade, how to draw hands. You'll find just a plethora of videos. And that's a great tool in itself. As far as physical tools, they're just pens, pencils. My blue non-photo doesn't replicate when you photocopy. So that's kind of where it stemmed from because now I do a lot of tone tan paper, so it doesn't really matter so much. I've just grown really partial to seeing the black hit the blue. It's like magic to me, kind of. But on dead white, I could sketch out whatever I want with this and then ink it and then photocopy it in black and white, and the blue does not show up. It's just the ink lines.
Really?
So really cool. I jumped from that years and years and years and years, like back in the college days, because I got tired of being all careful trying to erase my pencil marks around my ink without smudging all. Because, when you replicate that, your pencil turns to little lines and it can just be a mess. So, yeah, there's some red out there, too, that does the same thing. But for the most part, it's my bluesies.
Now, is it just that particular brand of blue pencil that doesn't replicate, or is it just really any?
Well, Joe, I'm glad you asked that. There are several brands. Prismacolor makes one. Most of the major Faber-Castell, most of the major art kind of tool companies make their own non-photos. I will tell you, well, the logo's shaved down on here, but the Stadler brand, you see the Dutchler there.
Yeah.
Stadler, they make pens, pencils, all that. Theirs is super soft, like a B-lead pencil, if any artists know what I'm talking about. And most of the other ones I found are like a high 8 lead pencil, which is very hard, very waxy. You're almost grooving in, digging into your paper to get the blue to show up. This, I can sketch super light. I can put pressure. I can shade, before, so I'll know where to go in with my hatching and stuff. So yes, if you have a choice, at Dick Blick, it's fun to say it. Say it with me. Dickblick.com. I have found where you can get these in bulk. If not, you got to find them at your local art store because Amazon, unfortunately, only has Prism.
That is super interesting. I never knew that.
Fun fact. I thought you did know that, Joe. I thought I said that in another stream.
But I'm glad that it came up tonight because
now
I'll tell you what.
Knowing's half the battle.
You know what? It really is. And that's what's great about this podcast.
Joe.
It's a really... Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
I love you so much.
Sorry. Sorry. I cut you off, but I love you.
I love you too. No, that's super cool. Is there any other techniques that you might be able to suggest to somebody that is like freehanding on traditional paper or this and that you might do that you don't realize?
What was the question again? I'm sorry.
Any other techniques for when you're freehand drawing? I mean,
like when I'm looking at something, kind of freehand, or just making up something, or replicating something.
Yeah, like is there?
I will do shapes. Like when I'm trying to draw something, I'll start with you can see it in my streams too, or even my YouTube. If you start the time lapse, you'll just see a lot of times, like with heads and stuff. I'll start with your basic circle, which is pretty much this part of your the circle, and then I'll come on it, and it just starts as shapes. And you kind of that's the beauty of this pencil as well, is I can just lightly sketch and be as sloppy as I want and just mold my lines. And then where I'm sketching and I'm starting to zero in on where I want that arm, I start putting more pressure, and then it defines it, and the rest just kind of fades off. And then once those lines are defined, then I come back and that's where I ink. So I would say, like if I had to tell anyone, sometimes I see artists, they get very definitive with their lines. And I did this, gosh, so much of my life I did this, where every line was matter of fact. Every line had to be so perfect. Like when you're drawing that character, like that eye had to be perfect. That line had to be perfect. Not just be super loose and super sketchy. And you're literally molding your lead. You're molding your lead on your paper until the proportions start coming together. And, that spacing matches this spacing. And once it does, you just trace what you've already molded onto the paper, if that makes sense. I don't know.
Yeah, no, it does. Absolutely.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're actually thinking about doing a draw on the next stream, which will be tomorrow. Maybe some really simplified characters or something. So you'll see how that starts with shapes if you stop by.
Right on.
Yeah.
Is there any other suggestions that you can share, possibly with just starting out and this and that?
Don't compare yourself to other artists out there. Like, don't, man, this guy draws so awesome, I'm going to throw my pins in the trash. Because if that were the case, I would have done that when I saw Moncus's work. So,
can I get an amen on a Monday?
So you just can't, you can't do that. You got to stick to your own, and you do pick up things here and there from other artists, and that's why it's okay for people to draw other people's art, as long as they're not claiming like, hey, I made this up and this is my own like awesomeness. And if you're saying, hey, I used so and so's reference and I redrew it, there's tons of kids that like tag me on Instagram, like, or they'll even message me, is it okay if I draw this? Is it, that's the same thing I tell them. Sure, just tag me in it when you're done and share it, so just keep on doing it. Even if you're doodling on a napkin at a restaurant, just try to doodle every day. Just keep it going and don't stop. Don't listen to other people. Art is art. It's all in the eye of the beholder. So, one man's trash is another's treasure. So, if you hate something, like I've done pieces that I'm like, oh, this is going in the trash. And then one of my friends wants to smack me and he's like, well, give it to me because I love it, So can't compare yourself to other artists. Just keep doing your thing, being you, killing it, and being supportive. Be supportive of other artists.
A rising tide lifts all boats.
Yes. I vote yes.
I vote yes. Now,
for article, whatever it is.
I'm going to switch gears real quick, but is there any suggestions that, say somebody is just really drawn to graffiti art?
Yeah.
Right? I don't know if you get asked this a lot or whatnot, but say a person is really drawn to graffiti art and doesn't really know how to start. Do you have any suggestions for them?
For doing graffiti, like getting into it and stuff?
Yeah.
Why, yes, Joe. Back in 1998, I would say I was that kid in North Carolina. I loved graffiti culture. I was into hip hop beats. That's actually the year I started making beats, was 98. But I loved graffiti art. I used to do it in books, paper, but I never was that kid with the can going out there like, you know. So me and my best friend back in the day decided, like, damn it, we're going to go to the store and we're going to get some cans of the Walmart special, and we're going to
the Dollar General.
Yeah, and we're going to go tag the backside of his mom's like barn shed thing behind the house where she'll never see it.
Or Karen will just repaint it later. It's fine.
Yeah, exactly. So we did, and we sketched out our pieces. We're like, oh, this is gonna be so cool. We went out there, and there's certain techniques and things that, you need folks that have done it to kind of bestow upon you. Like, oh no, don't do that. Do it this way. So we did these janky ass, and mine was Kob1. It was KOB with the number 1. And, gosh, I think he wrote Wish or something. And I still have the picture somewhere, and it's hilarious. But, one day we get the call from his mom, like, his name was Daniel. We were, Daniel, what the hell's going on with my shed? And I was like, oh shit, she saw it. She saw the graffiti. So that was my only experience with it. It was super sloppy. It was very intimidating, kind of, because it just did not look that great. And so fast forward to me moving out to Albuquerque back in 2002, 3, somewhere in there. My newfound cousin of my newfound wife was all into it out here, into the culture. He was very deep within it. He did it. He took me around everywhere. I have so many photos somewhere of like every damn piece in town documented, like thousands. There's a couple spots in town. There's one big yard called Zuni off 2nd Street. That's about the only legal spot you can go now. That's where I would go if I decided I'm going to go Sunday and paint. That's where I would go. But it took many 4x8 plywood paintings in my garage before I was confident enough to go out. So that's what I would say. Very long answer to your question. I would say,
that's great.
Get if you have the means of a garage or some tree, you can nail up a board, just something to get the techniques. And I didn't look on YouTube. I should have, now that I think about it. But I went with my cousin one time, all by myself, looked like shit. I was like dissing myself on the wall. So after that, I was very discouraged. He's like, no, you got to go back out. He's like, oh, you got to do this technique with the thing. And I'm like, what? And it was like, once I learned certain techniques, it was just eye opening, and that was it.
So what you're saying is you're not
practice.
Banksy.
No, I'm Kob0ne. He just does stencils anyways.
Oh, snap. No. Shots fired.
No, I love that guy's work. Amazing. It is.
Yeah.
But it really is just.
Now, you got a big piece in your garage, don't you?
Well, Joe.
I
no.
Myself open for that.
Let's see. No, I don't anymore. I used to have a giant 4x8 in my garage, and that was the practice board.
Yeah.
I would constantly do new pieces, paint over it, do another piece. That has since moved on. The cousin I was telling you about acquired it and nailed it up in his son's room, like the final piece that I was like, all right.
Really?
So now my garage wall is just literally obliterated. It looks like paintball practice on the side of this thing. And it's just a giant easel, basically, like where I used to hang my canvases and do pieces. So it kind of looks like, gangbangers wall or something. If you're driving past, staring into my garage, it just looks like a mess. Like paint cans exploded everywhere. But yeah, one day I'll drywall over that.
One day. Till then.
One day when I sell my house, maybe.
Till then he walks in there and smells the paint fumes.
Until
and
then,
reminisces.
it's mine. I just finished painting the announcement malfeasance. I just finished painting it. It looks really, really, really good. Really good. So there might be a little Gambit package there at GuardianCon this year. We shall see. Maybe.
I think we've all kind of got like a Gambit thing going.
Brother. Yes. Yes.
Not to dive into Destiny 2 or anything like that, but I'll tell you what, that malfeasant gun has the best just...
It feels good to
shoot.
The
lines or anything, but it's aesthetically just appealing to my eyes.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
It's just so gorgeously made. I don't know how in God's earth that it would honestly just function, but it's a gorgeous piece, and
like it would just shoot and detonate right past your hand.
There's no way this would even fire. I mean,
it's like not even a barrel.
yeah. It's. I don't know how.
When you suspend disbelief, it works perfectly.
When you use space magic, it works. But
space magic, there we go.
I'll tell you what, I find myself in that game, like you said, constantly migrating back to it. It feels and shoots so good, and it's so quick. I mean, I might not be knocking them dead with it, but I feel comfortable using that in the game.
Yes.
But we're not going to get hung up on that stuff. What we're going to do is, I don't know about you yet. I haven't heard from Ruby at all.
I'm here. I'm listening.
Ruby,
all right, rest of the show. We're all muted. Go.
She goes off screen. No.
So, hey,
Something
you're a family guy, but you're a very busy guy. How do you manage it all?
Honestly, I just don't know. It's like always something to do. I'm doing it. Like I always feel like there's this list. I'm checking things off that like never ends. Like every day there's new things on this list that evolve, and like it just, yeah, it's like rinse repeat during the week pretty much. Get up, go to work, come home, and during work I'm trying to keep up social sometimes here and there, and come home. Start setting up for stream if that's what's going on. If not, it's Star Wars cards or Ninja Turtle cards or any commissions that I've got a few of them piled up now I need to get on. So that, and then if I want, I'll cut myself off at like 10 p.m. to get on games till maybe like midnight-ish. I was staying up to about 2 a.m., but I've been trying to cut that short and get more rest. But I'm kind of a night owl. I live on like 6 hours a night around, 5 or 6.
There.
So yeah, so it's like a rinse repeat. Then I wake up, do it, come home, do the art, stream. That, yeah. On top of when my kids are over for the weekends and we're doing stuff. I was going to stream with Aaliyah this past Sunday, and I come to find out she had some surprise birthday party that we had to go take her to the other side of town. And I didn't get home till late, and then Game of Thrones, so I ended up canceling my stream. But yeah, it's hard. It's very tough. And with GuardianCon looming, like I feel like because I don't have my prints yet, I don't have this, I don't have that. Like there's so many things in the air I haven't secured yet. There's this like, I don't know. I'm sure Elaine knows the feeling. There's this like looming, like you gotta get, So yeah, all that combined, and then the 80 cards I signed on for that are due at the beginning of June. I'm a masochist, I guess. I don't know.
I don't know any artist who isn't.
Right?
This is true. True. All these sexy people in chat. We got a lot of artists in chat. Wonderful artists.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
But if anybody has never tuned in for one of Kob streams while his daughter is with him, I recommend it because it's a great time and it's so chill.
She is a hoot.
You did one for one of the
St. Jude's
streams last year for St. Jude's, and I still have that saved on my PC.
Yeah, I got it hanging right here. I got her like Wall of Fame paintings. But
that's awesome. Yeah, that was a great stream. So if you ever see on your socials that Kob is streaming and she's streaming with him, check it out. You will not regret it. It's a great time.
Yeah, here's her and Kaiser, the new pup.
Yeah, I saw that photo. So cute.
That's a great picture. Yeah, you sent me a picture the other day of the pupper.
Yeah, I'm surprised he's conked pretty good. I don't think he got any of my medicine, but you know.
You wore him out.
No, he does sleep a lot. So.
Now, what kind of dog is he?
He is a miniature pincher, a min pin.
Mm-hmm.
He will terrorize your ankle, I'm sure, when he gets bigger.
And he's a light brown too. Usually,
he's colored like he's colored like a Doberman, kind of almost like a Doberman, but more of the reddish than the darker brown, like you were saying.
Yeah.
But his little tail's bobbed, and I guess they're supposed to be the king of the toy dogs. Like they think they're like giant horses when they're this big.
Yeah.
It all boils down. I've told my chat this in chat, but it all boils down to turd size. When you're picking up a turd this big, you're like, flush. You're grabbing a fistful of a warm Snickers. Like, you just want to chunk it across the, I don't know. I can't do it. Like, when your animal outshits you, like, it's just, Like, when I can pick up little, rotten string beans and flush them, I'm fine with that. So that's how I gauge my dog, chat, and ladies and gentlemen out there. I'm sorry, Dr. Asinov. I'm sorry, Vanessa. I'm sorry. I'm being honest. Like, of course, there's breeds and dogs, and I've always wanted a min pin. Yeah.
My best friend has a min pin, Molly.
Medium to small. I've had skipper keys,
I love
Pomeranians with their dragon ass breath. Like, I've had all those, like, smaller, medium size. So, yeah. But yeah, I can't. I love big dogs. Like, I'll visit a friend's house, pet them all day, love on them. But won't be picking up that human-sized turd. I will not.
There it is. You heard it here
if
first.
Anybody
needs a reference,
what is this?
It's clipped. There we go.
What? What is that?
I don't know.
Dull
Grit
fit
shark just going nuts with clipping tonight. Yeah, we're gonna have our own little
I'm sorry.
directory here, just from so. But no, my friend has a min pin. My best friend, he lives 2 blocks away from me. It's his first dog ever. And
oh wow!
When he first got it, it was
a handful.
It's not really. I mean, it's pretty docile. It likes to nip here and there. People that it doesn't know. So she'll get a little feisty here and there, but overall, she's great. But she's more like a cream puff now than a min pin, because
little poochy,
little pooch,
little plump.
Yeah.
I've researched a lot before I pulled the trigger on calling this breeder. I researched, watched lots of videos, and that was one thing it said, like, be careful. They can, like, plump up, like, and they showed
real
one.
quick.
I was, like, wondering why it wasn't just floating like a little. It was just like a ball with little paws sticking off of it. I was like, oh my God, that's a large pin. Ain't no men about it. That one.
Yeah,
but
not to go off the rails, but I loved it because it was his first dog ever. Like, growing up, we've known each other since 2, so he's always been around my dogs. We've had them forever, from Newfoundlands down. I mean, Newfoundlands to Skipper Keys to, and now we just adopt rescue pit bulls and stuff. We have one who is a dingo, is a Australian Shepherd and Blue Heeler mix. We got.
Did he ever eat any babies? Anyone's baby?
Maybe, I can't remember.
Dingo ate my boy. Bye.
Well, it's funny.
I remember getting mad at an Australian guy playing games, and I said something about that. It was all I had. I was.
You got to go with what you got. I mean, but it was great because he started out with, like, he's one of those that will tell you how to do it. She gets nothing but the best, like blue buffalo. Her snacks are baby carrots, and she gets 2 a day if she's good and this and that. She goes to the groomers and this and that. Fast forward 2 years, he's walking around with a 50-pound bag of dog food he got from Kmart or whatnot. That was on
The Costco.
over his shoulder. This was $5. And then you go over there now, and it's like, where's Molly? That's Molly. That's not Molly. Like,
That's not Molly.
what happened?
Yo, you got that Molly.
He's
man.
like, well, she gets a few table scraps here and there. I'm like, you can't just sit on the couch and have
you got to
cheese
table
muff for
scrap
you
them here and there.
and throw one over to her. It doesn't work like that. But now the dog's losing weight again. But I'll tell you one thing. Once a dog starts putting on weight, it's hard for him to get off, just like one person. You can really pack it on by those nachos and everything, but you have to work for it to get it off.
Those little, like, I don't want to pick that up that I just dropped the old, come here, get this little piece of macaroni off the kitchen floor. You know, those add up. Those add up.
Yes, they do. They do.
Yeah, my dog Turbo is Min Pin Chihuahua.
Oh
so
my God, I love that name.
He's adorable. But when I take him, because he goes on 2 W's a day, I can't say the word out. And he's on a diet. But when I drop him off at mom and dad's house, when I go on trips and stuff, I come home and you've definitely been at mom and dad's house. He's gained at least 2 pounds. I'm like, we're going to be walking this off for a month. And he's real cute too. If you say you want to go to grandparents' house, he's like, ah! He runs to the door. It's real sweet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's some trigger words with our dog. If you say bye-bye, he's got those big old cat ears that just go right up.
Pops up.
Mm-hmm.
He sees you reach for shoes. He's like, where are we going? Where are we going? He's right there waiting at the door. Yeah, he's pumped.
I love all animals. I just think dogs are a little better.
Have you ever sketched one of your dogs?
That's a good question. I actually this past weekend doodled Kaiser for Aaliyah in her new sketch pad. She broke out her little art set, and she asked me to doodle him. So yes, but serious, not really any of my own pets, but I have done some family members. I've done my sister's little dog and my dad's Zoe. There's a time lapse of that on my YouTube of her, but she's like a little on the shaggy. Gosh, it's like this big. Can't put my finger on it, but yeah. So that's about it. But I do enjoy doing animals. I've done an eagle on stream. That's for the stack up thing, which I have coming up.
That's right.
A couple weeks.
2 weeks away. That's right.
We'll be stacking it up.
That's right. We have our second benefit stream of the year will be in 2 weeks. It's benefiting stackup.org, and they're I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready. It's benefiting their Overwatch program, and they do some amazing things, not only for veterans, but for just the general public. So if you have an issue or anything, you come into their server, they're going to talk to you, and they'll help. They're a great foundation and great organization.
They really are. I met a lot of those guys at the, oh God, is it the second Guardian Con or the Destiny 2 thing? Yeah, met a lot of the Stack Up guys. They're awesome guys.
Yeah. We actually were chatting with Cuddles. He's the go-to man. So if you do any sort of charity for them or fundraiser or anything like that, he's the man that you talk to, essentially.
Gotcha.
So he's a wicked cool dude.
Fun fact, Cuddles was my first dog's name.
Oh.
Aw.
True story.
This is Pixels After
My
Dark.
sister picked it. Had nothing to do with me. My sister picked the name. I agreed because she, in fact, was very cuddly. You know, it was just seemed right at the time. I was like 8. Yeah.
Well, when you're 8 years old, I mean, Cuddles and Fluffy are just, the go-to.
I'm diddly umptious.
Snowball.
Snowball. That's right. What about you, Ruby? You've been pretty quiet.
Buffy.
Do you have any pets?
Just my cat. Always had cats. I used to want a dog when I was a kid.
Uh-oh.
I wanted a dog when I was a kid. My parents wouldn't let me have one. And then eventually they let me have a cat.
He's awake. I heard his little whiny butt.
Oh, he's so small.
He's so cute.
Yeah, he's like the size of my hand.
My goodness.
He's tiny.
That's adorable.
Yeah, Turbo doesn't have his tail lopped off. He still he has the long, curly, cute pig-like tail.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
He's so cute, though.
He's a stinker. Literally.
Pixel, what's your cat's name?
Soy milk.
What? That's cute.
Zoe Milk?
It's because in Spanish, if you say it, it sounds like I am milk.
Oh, okay. I get you.
Her cat might make an appearance here sometime tonight. Usually,
Yeah, she
at
tries.
some point,
Yeah.
silently, she like jumps up on Ruby's lap, and if you watch the stream live, you'll see his like tail or something pop up.
Ears or something.
His ears will pop
Yeah.
up just in the bottom of her frame, and then move on.
Yeah.
I love it. But we got totally sidetracked. I apologize.
Sorry.
Yeah, sorry.
It happens.
We're all animal lovers, so you bring that up and I'll be gone. I'll just run with it. But Ruby, do you want to bring us into the next segment that we have?
The very difficult segment.
Yes, a lot of people seem to struggle with this one.
Yeah, so we're gonna put you on the spot for a little bit and
Okay.
ask you about. So, one thing we've learned from artists is artists tend to learn about a lot of different things because, you research stuff when you're, doing art. So, if you come across anything very interesting, intriguing, or just out there and crazy that you would like to share with us, random fact of any sort.
Gosh, not really anything like super crazy. Like I tell everyone, like I touched on earlier, just the whole tools of the internet and you can literally find anything you want, any technique, any style, anything. There's nothing that really stands out though I can think of that kind of jumps out at me.
Let's see.
Would you like an example?
Sure.
Ruby froze, but I know she had.
Oh, she did froze.
No, we like to have Tyler give an example because when we were coming up with these segments and questions, it was really interesting because it was very relatable. Oh, welcome back.
She's back.
You froze for a second, Ruby.
Oh, I know. I heard you. I could hear.
Right. Were you?
I
did
hear you
have
guys
an
every
example?
time. Things like bees kill other bees or weird things like that. Or Cheetos Ronettes, so speed.
Oh, you mean like
Random stuff.
the down the rabbit hole thing?
The
You
rabbit.
guys are talking about where you're like researching something.
Yeah.
Late night
other-
YouTubes.
Yeah, exactly. Like when you're in one time YouTube.
Look, Joe, we've all been there. Don't act like you haven't done it.
I do get stuck on a lot of podcasts when I'm looking up things like references and things, or something on YouTube or a video trying to get a reference, and I'll see something over the side, squirrel, and it's not necessarily like something mind altering or something that is just epic that I had to, but something I was like, oh yeah, I would like to know how to 10 ways I could do this, or I don't know. I always get sucked in off those little side tabs. Squirrel. Distracted very easily.
Now, since we have a guest host on, we could ask this question to Elaine.
Yep.
To see Elaine looks like she's been rabbit holing. I mean, she's a vast ocean of knowledge over here. She looked like she was going to spit out a few examples for you.
If you're talking about like crazy facts and rabbit holes, murder podcasts, pimple popping.
All of that sounds great.
I like to watch pimple popping, especially black kids. Don't at me.
Isn't there some like Dr. Pimple Popper like television show or something?
Yeah, but I watched her when she was on YouTube instead of on the TLC. So I'm OG, okay?
Watched her since she was a little squirt.
Yeah.
Oh,
sorry.
I see what you did there.
In there somewhere. Somewhere there was going to be.
You're so punny. Oh my god. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know any I don't know any crazy facts. Most of my facts don't come from researching art. They just come from being a biology major.
Well, give us a weird, interesting fact from being a biology major.
Why you gotta put me on the spot like that?
Because I know you know. There's one right there. You know. You just don't want to say it.
I don't. I do have something that happened in class once, but it might be a little inappropriate, so I don't know. No.
All right.
So I probably shouldn't. It happened in embryology though, so it was good. It was good.
Don't be a baby. Tell us. Sorry, embryology.
Well, I'll have to. It'll be after the show. After the show.
All right.
I pick up crazy, weird facts all the time in the background when I'm working 3D at work, so that can be very monotonous at times. So I will have my phone going with just random YouTube, Netflix documentaries, Prime documentaries, and I've almost seen everything. But I really get fascinated with the old ancient Egypt. Wow, bro, dang, he is really latching in there. Like the old ancient Egypt stuff, like when they find, carvings buried that are 11,000 years old, and it's a depiction of an alien, like how we see them, the grays with the big eyes. But it's 11,000 years old, carbon dated. Like, you can't fake that crap, so it just fascinates me, like the ancients and astrology. I love astrology, the stars, how the pyramids collate with like the constellation Orion and all the stuff that lines up around the world together geographically. It's just insane. It's crazy. We're just little boogers floating through the space of time. Ow, this guy, dude.
Well, he's awake.
He is.
I do.
This is what happens if you put him down.
I was gonna say I do have a question that's not on script. Do you have right? Do you have a pre-game, like pre-art or pre-stream ritual of like a certain song, or do you go is it like a shower, or what is it?
No, I have showered before streams before.
Well, sometimes there's a ritual,
I don't know. Sometimes, come home and I like to get coffee on the way home, my Starbucks, which I'm often drinking on stream, like when I start it.
Not spawns.
You don't
know.
It on the table,
Yeah. There's other things that I don't, put on my stream that, get me in the zone. Per se.
Oh yeah, I forgot about
that. But nothing crazy or, earth moving or noteworthy.
I was gonna say I have a dance party to ABBA usually.
Is that a thing?
That's a thing, don't you? The ABBA's like the disco bomb.com. Come on now.
You just dated yourself with bomb.com.
I know.
I'm sorry, Alexi, don't.
But wait. Let's rewind for a second. Elaine.
What?
Are you saying you're pre-streamer, before you start getting into, working the machines and, starting your process, you have a mini dance party?
Yes, I do.
Pumped up and ready for it.
There's nothing like Dancing Queen blasting at full volume and having a dance in your sewing room.
Why didn't we do that before the stream? Like, why didn't we all do that? We all should have just done that.
Ruby's like
clap song. ABBA. One of us could have been crowned queen.
Truth. Queen of the stream.
Ruby, do you have a ritual that you might go through?
I go and grab food and a drink,
Yeah, you sit down, you got a little snack with you, you got a drink, everything.
Yes. Yes.
Dig it.
And get some sort of something ready, like an audiobook, a TV show. See,
Nice.
I can't start without something. Usually not music, but every now and then I'll need the music. I need like a story.
I feel that.
Nice. Now,
Can
Kob,
get you in the mood. Yes.
I was going to actually continue with that and bring the question back to you. Do you listen to music while you're drawing or you're working on a piece? You do.
Yeah. I never not listen to music. That makes sense.
It does make
So yes, I'm always I have all my Alexas and Bluetooth speakers stuff all through my house. So I'll like tell her to randomize J. Cole or 90s hip hop or System of a Down, whatever I'm kind of in the mood for. Or I will put on said documentaries or like Joe Rogan podcast or Destiny Community podcast, other podcasts I'll have kind of going. But yeah, there has to be something stimulating that other part of my brain while I'm on the left side.
I can't stand silence.
I can't stand just hearing the jackhammer.
Yeah. Oh, didn't notice.
Yeah. If she's just going and there's nothing else in the background, it sounds like a construction zone in here.
You're not on the second story of an apartment complex, are you?
No, but that's where I started, though. When I started my business, I was at a second story apartment. But I think I had a deaf neighbor. Maybe.
You lucked out. I had a non-deaf neighbor, and we got into like a audio war through the apartment. It's a funny story. It was right after I moved to Albuquerque. It was like, back in 2003 or something. And I was making a beat. And, when you go through drums, I wasn't in my head. I was, you go through different kits. So you're constantly just, trying to pick. Well, he came down, my neighbors or my roommate's trying to sleep, man. Is it cool if you? I was like, oh, yeah, put the headset on. So fast forward a few hours. I'm sitting in my living room trying to watch TV. And cleaning out my closet is on 4,000 decibels on repeat, nonstop above me.
Oh, that's nostalgic.
And that closet was clean to perfection after like the third time. So I just got so mad. I went back to my studio. I cranked up the volume on my speakers. I went to the lowest sub bass that I could find, those really deep, and I went right down the octave, like windows shattering of the apartment complex.
Oh, yeah.
And that stopped. I didn't hear anything after that. And that was the end. We never had another audio battle.
Wub wub in the night away.
Wub wub in the night. I wub that you made that joke. What happened to Joe?
That's not a thing.
It's all echoey. I'm not in the bathroom. You didn't mute.
You hear the flush.
I have in my office. I have a door to my office, and it's off the house. Except there's a window that it's got to be at least 4x4 picture window that doesn't open, and it's got the old school like top window that flips open. And I told my wife, I'm like, I'll either like blow out this wall. It's not load bearing, and then I'll extend it, or I'll take just make a whole wall, and then just put the door over here. And she's like, no, I like that. Oh, why? I'm like, you're just staring into my office and nothing. She's like, exactly. I don't have to walk out and come to the door. I can just stare at you through this window or tap on it or whatnot and see what you're doing or get your attention without coming in there. In the middle of winter, she doesn't want to come out here because it has its own separate heat.
Can I just say, I'm digging the ambiance of your setup, Joe. You have a very nice, comfy.
It's
it feels warm, inviting. It's
Very ASMR. It's visually stimulating.
Oh yeah.
I'm visually triggered.
Thank you. I think it's very comfortable as well.
Oh, we haven't escaped puppers. Okay, he's secure. He is secure. He jumped from the second story window, Ted Bundy style.
Ted Bundy style.
Sorry, I just watched that.
I did too.
You got to watch the documentary on Netflix before you watch the movie, because the movie would be kind of like weird to watch. It's very choppy without watching the documentary first. Still good though.
Well, let's keep on rolling. And this is the fun part of the night. I don't know if you got anything that you could set up for this, but every episode we do a 30-second challenge.
Ho, ho, ho.
Are you aware of the 30-second challenge?
Is that where I try to be on the podcast and my dog doesn't interrupt me for 30 seconds?
You will
Yes.
need.
I am aware of the 30-second challenge.
I got the stopwatch.
I accept your challenge. What's the thing?
All right, we're going to go into this. Ruby's going to pull up a stopwatch.
Blank.
Already got it. I'm on it this time.
She's on point.
Yeah, let's see if this works.
I love it. Now, for anybody that's in the chat,
Hey,
does anybody have any
man.
suggestions for the 30-second challenge? And the 30-second challenge is Kob has 30 seconds to, create a piece. And in 30 seconds, we see what he has to show us. A Lego minifigure.
Of course, he would say that.
Elaine, do you have any suggestions? Maybe we can go. Ruby, you have any ideas either?
I usually just suggest an animal of some sort. It's a good default.
That is a good default. See, you put me on the spot and everything just goes.
So much, I know, right? That's why I wrote
We
it.
have a Lego minifigure, a gray alien.
Ooh,
Something Egyptian. Ruby,
Something Egyptian.
Yeah.
All right. How about something Egyptian?
Like a sphinx.
That's
It's
not
a-
complex or anything.
No, use that alien knowledge.
Yeah.
I don't care. I'll do
Or-
whatever you guys want.
All right.
What are those bad guys in Stargate that go into
The
like your
Anubis?
brain? No,
No.
the bad guy worm.
That's
things
what I was
that, like,
thinking
take
of.
over.
Oh,
Conversation. All sudden
yeah. That teal Kaz?
Yeah, that they all have.
Yeah. Oh, no.
I
I'm an old
can't
fart.
remember.
I'm not into Stargate. Sorry, guys.
Get
No,
out of
what?
here.
You can't be too old for that. That movie got a good
Is that
date on that.
Stargate?
You don't understand how old I am.
Was that
But-
the movie with Kurt Russell or was that SG-1?
SG-1 and the
Both.
movie.
Yeah, both.
The movie came out. Yeah.
See, I like the movie more because I'm a Kurt Russell fan, but that's just
I like both.
I like the TV series better.
agree to disagree.
Ow.
Fine.
All right. Something Egyptian.
Gold. That's it.
Egyptian
Square's got it.
alien Alf in. No,
Elf eating a cat. I know you don't like cats.
what if I draw the blind jackal? Mm-mm-mm. It's Egyptian.
Perfect. I love it.
Do it.
All right.
If I
I'll
can.
tell you when. I'll give you 3 seconds and you start. All
I
right.
don't remember what it looks like.
Pressure, 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 pressure.
Yeah.
Let's go.
You ready? You ready?
Mm-hmm,
All right. 3, 2, 1, go.
He's a maniac on the floor.
I don't remember.
For
how
everybody
it-
that's listening and not tuning in, I suggest, I recommend
15
that you
seconds.
pull up
Oh,
the
that was
stream
like
from
the-
our YouTube, but you could see
Oh, that's
Elaine
nice. Look at that.
and Ruby going to town on that song right there. Club
I don't remember how the mask actually looked, though. That sucks.
Oh my goodness.
29, 30. Stop. Stop.
She had to throw a little pyramid in the corner.
Yeah, God, I couldn't remember how the helmet looked. That sucked.
Wow, dude, your lines are so confident. Nice.
Oh, look at that.
Nice. Now
That's
take
the
a photo
Illuminati.
and send it to us.
Yep.
$50 on my Etsy.
Thank you. That'll be $50.
Joe, I will mail this to you, and you can auction it
Sweet.
for a bag of Cheetos and 50 cents. Egyptian
That's not
Cade. Oh, that would have been a good one.
But no, yeah, if you want to just, you could take a picture of it and send it to us, or you can mail it to me, and I will actually scan it because we are going to do something at the end of the year
Oh,
with
no.
all of the pieces that everybody has done for the 30-second challenge. and we're going to put it together with something special for everybody. You know,
Should do a 30-second themed challenge, and then they all have a theme.
Well, the beautiful thing about having everybody interact with suggestions and this and that, each one is different and independent of each other, but it gives us an opportunity to see the guest or the artist actually within 30 seconds build their foundation and how they work with their process. But each one has got their own separate thing. So if we put a calendar together, I think Anubis would fit in pretty good for a October, you know, Mr. October over here.
You didn't have to explain yourself. I was just...
I'm very long-winded, and you know this about me.
Yes, you are. But I love that about you, Joe.
Thank you so much for doing that, bud. It's always so much fun doing the 30-second challenges. And
that was fun.
I
wish I could remember what it looked like, though.
They're quick, but they're one of the high points because I really enjoy them. And I know everybody else does too.
Ow!
Elaine, we're going to have you on as a guest and see what you can do in 30 seconds on that machine behind you.
Oh my gosh.
Taco.
Oh no, did we lose audio?
But ASMR.
Oh, that feels so good.
Kind of was there.
Elaine, we lost your audio again.
Sign to us.
Slam your hand on the desk again.
Oh yeah, slam it.
Oh my god, it worked. Oh, that's Ruby doing it.
No, that was me.
Oh, I was like,
it's like, there's no way that just worked. And it did.
what did you do last time? Was it a wire or something?
Shit,
Did that work?
Yes!
I don't know. I just unplugged it and plugged it back in. Welcome to the IT crowd, everybody.
I love the IT crowd. You know it too. I love you for knowing it. I love Moss. Moss is the best.
I'm going to send this email to the fire department. Help.
You guys, if you have not, the IT crowd you need to watch it. It's the perfect geeky show humor.
I'm going to put this fire over here with this other fire.
It's
Never
so
heard
good.
of it!
It was on Netflix. Is it still on? Yeah, IT crowd.
Is
So
that
funny.
Chris Dowd? O'Dowd?
Yes.
Yeah.
I like that guy too. He's funny.
Be careful with this box. It is the internet.
That was so great, that episode. Oh, what's her name? Poor lass.
Oh gosh, I see her face, but I can't think of her name right. Jen.
Yes.
Did you guys
Jen.
get a room or something?
We're having some lady loving right now, so excuse
It's
y'all.
a good show. I was so happy when last year some friends bought it for me on DVD, and so now I have the whole collection, so I'll never...
What's it called?
IT crowd.
Because they're in the IT department.
Is it like NBC, one of those shows, Netflix?
It's
BBC.
It's English. Yeah, but probably BBC, maybe.
Oh.
I don't know. It's British.
Is it exciting?
Yes.
It's very funny. You're
Very
gonna
I
laugh.
get into a lot of BBC shows, and there's just something.
This one's
drab.
funny.
Okay,
This one's really funny.
Some of them are good, but yeah.
It's better than the English version of The Office. I think so.
Ooh, wow, that's a bold statement.
Although I think that the US Office is better of all.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what's better, though? The Office or Park and Recreations?
I need to watch Park and Rec. So I
haven't
can't
watched
say.
either.
Oh no.
I'll tell you.
And no Forrest Gump. Were you were sheltered, weren't you, Elaine? You poor thing. poor thing.
Actually, yes, thank you.
Have you ever seen Kimmy? What's that?
Kimmy Schmidt.
Yeah. Is that you? Did you crawl out of a hatch? Did you?
Might as well have. How do you think I can make my own clothes?
Oh my gosh! It all makes sense now.
It checks out.
Checks out 100%.
True
Wow,
story.
you're the real deal. You're the real deal.
If we weren't recording at that point, but at the beginning of the podcast, Elaine made us aware that she never watched the movie Forrest Gump before. And I don't know if I'm
If you can believe that.
I saw that in theaters.
I'm not a smart man, but I know what blasphemy is.
Oh, whoops. But you know what? This podcast is not about me. It is.
That's right. It's about the pixelated traveler.
and Kob, and yeah.
All about the pixels. Ow! Mm.
And the little doggy.
And my poor fingers who have now turned into Kong bones or something.
Well, we are at the end of the podcast right now. We're at the end of the episode. Does
Cue
anybody
the soft piano.
have any final remarks or suggestions for any listeners or anything? Any?
Don't you all talk at once?
Do we have any suggestions for listeners? What?
All right. I'll edit this and I'll go back.
It's gonna be huge.
God, before we go, before we let you go and get mangled by your mini Cujo,
Kaiser, yes.
What advice do you want to leave, or can you leave for any aspiring artists listening?
Just don't give up. Keep drawing. And hop in my Discord. We support other artists and we post art all day long, and it's really cool. Everyone supports each other. And so that would be my advice. Touching on what I said earlier, don't compare yourself to other artists. Like, oh, I wish I could draw like this guy or that girl, or do your own thing, and your skills will slowly evolve. Like, that's what I tell a lot of kids that DM me, what's your secret? How do you learn to, I'm 35 plus years drawing. That's what it is. Like, so, practice, I know everyone's heard practice makes perfect, which is untrue. Nothing's perfect, but it can make you better. Keep it up. Don't stop. Don't stop. Don't stop.
Elaine, do you have any advice or suggestions that you'd like to leave?
Mine's just a general overall suggestion of life, which is to love yourself.
I dig.
Yay!
That is very true. Don't love yourself, who will?
Exactly.
Well, thank you both so much for coming on and hanging out with us tonight. My cheeks hurt from smiling and laughing so much. It's been a fun time. Kob lost his dog again.
Fumble. We had a fumble.
Oh.
It's an
You said cheeks hurt, and I saw his face just go, wow. He's fine.
Just wear a mess of purse.
Well, thank you both so much for coming on and hanging out with us tonight. Kob, where can people find you, and where can people find your art?
All over the Googler, all over the socials. Kob0neArt, Kob0neArt. Instagram has a lot of my art. My YouTube channel, same spelling, has all my Twitch streams time-lapsed. So you can see a 1-2 hour session produce a drawing in like 1 minute. Etsy and Teespring. If you go to my Instagram, I have a Linktree link on there, and my Twitter, and that link takes you to all my other links. So
nice.
Have at it.
Now, do you have a stream schedule that people can catch you live?
Yeah, well, it's supposed to be a schedule, but usually Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday, around 8-ish Eastern. I say ish because I usually get home at different times, my job. But yeah, I try to stream 3 times a week. I give away a lot of art in there, a lot of sketch cards. Like I said, join my Discord. We have a lot of artists, young, old, different skill levels, and we all support each other, and it's an amazing, amazing community. Kob Mob. Kob Mob!
Dig it. Elaine, where can people find you and all your amazing, amazing stitch? I don't even know what to name it. I'm trying to find something crafty.
Patches?
My
embroidery?
stitch wares.
Yeah.
Stitchwares.
Crafts, all the crafts.
First of all, thank you. Also, thanks for letting me be on here as a guest person, host thing.
Hell yeah.
Thing.
Happy to have you too. I didn't say it earlier, but I'm super stoked to have you.
Aw, thanks. You can find me everywhere, Nerd and Needle. I don't really stream much, but I might get back into it. Who knows?
You should. Look at that big old setup of equipment back there.
I've been focusing on the business side of things, but
Almost looks like a little robot in a way.
It really is.
Spoil me. I don't know.
Well, I was trying not to dive too far into because you're guest hosting on, and I really want to save that to invite you back, to have you take the full guest role, and we could dive more into what you do with that machine back there and all the stuff that you can do on that
It's
machine
amazing.
and the stitching and everything. And you've made patches for me and several other people that I'm close to, and it's absolutely amazing. And I know you have quite the process that you go into it. So I wanted to save that to go into at a later date and invite you back on. I hope you come back on. I hope we didn't scare you off or anything.
No, I'm never coming back.
That's
Y'all made
it.
fun of me and I don't like it. Of course I'll come back. Yeah, that's why hosting him, It's not about me.
It's about the Kob. And we thank
About the
you
Kob stuff.
It's about
much.
community love.
That's right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And that's it. Thank you for spending an hour and a half with us. We're at the end of the show.
Yeah,
I'm terrible
thank you
at
guys.
closing things out. Ruby, do you have
Yeah.
anything that you want? Oh, wait. Wait, I almost
What?
forgot before we leave. Past couple episodes, Ruby actually threw this in at the end and extended it by another 10 minutes, but
Ooh.
she
I think I remember.
come up with a really good question that I keep forgetting to put in the show notes. I gotta write that down.
Yeah,
But go
yeah,
ahead,
yeah.
Ruby,
Together,
while I'm
Joe.
on this.
So, Kob,
Yes.
how did you come up with your name?
Ooh, well. A lot of people think it's my initials, which is kind of true. Basically, when I was picking a name, a lot of graffiti artists, like I knew I wanted to paint characters or symbols, like besides letters, like if I ever went out and did it. So a lot of artists traditionally would swap out O's for like little character heads or skulls or things like that. So I said, ooh, I'll put my initials around an O, and it says Kob. I just,
It works.
yeah, and it's funny because I chose that. I stuck by. I started, painting this and that. Well, I didn't realize, because that was early on when I first moved here. There's a local TV and radio station here, KOB FM, KOB TV. So it's just funny. Like I see that everywhere here. I think I even put an Instagram post once. I took a picture of their car and it was like, Kob is New Mexico. And I was like, damn, Skippy. But it's just purely coincidental. It's funny. And my buddies used to joke that I used to paint with a lot because, not really my thing, but back, some graffiti writers, they want to get up everywhere and get their name out there everywhere so people can see it. And I've always been like, I don't have to. Mine's digitally in everyone's home on their TVs and radios in town. So I don't have to. But yes, that is the origin and the one, because traditionally in graffiti, if you're the first person to paint that name or that you know of, you just put one
Oh, cool.
or two, and you keep going after that. So
See, that's an
So, yeah,
interesting
Kob
random.
one. A lot of people think it's Kobe or Kob, or because sometimes that one, the E over, and I get it, but yes, that is the
Awesome.
origin. Good question.
Right? Everyone seems to have an interesting story so far. I love it.
Thank you. I love you guys. Thanks for having me on.
Oh,
Yeah.
Look at this
yeah.
little baby. Look at this weird
yeah, little baby.
bath. Little stinky dude.
And that's where we will end it right there.
All right.
All right.
Good night.
Night, everybody.
Have a good night, guys. Thanks, Kob Mob.
Till the next